Hey everyone, it's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into tonight's NBA picks. If you missed my last video, I went into not only all of our college plays, but I went into hockey. And we are going to, if you watched that video, we are indeed going to make Notre Dame a leg 2 to cover. I put it in the Discord, and I also put it in that chat there. I was playing them as a leg 1. And I think a leg 2 is better. It's a weird line. They're only 4-point dogs against Pitt. But either way, you could play it as a leg 1. I think it's a better leg 2, so that's what I wanted to go over that. And we're going to play every game here. Most of these are going to be leg 1s, but I do have a couple leg 2s. I have one leg 3, just because I think the leg 3 is pretty interesting. It's actually the first one. It's the Suns cover. I like the Suns to cover here. And it's because they've been really hyping up the Suns about, are they going to be the best team? Are they going to be good? And they really have not had. They've had a couple. You could see they've won by a decent bit. They haven't had a game where they just came out and pummeled somebody. And I think this would be a perfect casualty team. It just makes sense to me. So I think they want to. There's going to be games and stretches of games where they have certain guys and certain teams look really good. And I think that's going to be the Suns tonight. So I like the Suns to win by at least double digits. So that's a leg 3, and I'll go over that in a minute. I do like the Bulls to cover the Pistons. Again, I don't think the Bulls can fall too far behind the Pacers, Washington, Toronto, all those other teams. It looks like they might be just kind of locking Toronto at 9 and then having the rest fight for 10. But I don't know. I actually don't think it's going to be Toronto. I think it's going to be the Bulls and the Wizards. But either way, I like the Bulls to cover here. Cavs, Celtics here. I like the Celtics to cover. As I said, I think they're going to get 60 wins, which means they can only have 4 more losses. And I think this one, a lot of people are going to take the Cavs. A lot of people behind Mitchell. 5-point game, it's not crazy. But I could see it being about 50-50. I don't see people really pounding either side. But I do slightly prefer the Celtics. Here I like the Heat. I don't think people are going to be on the Heat like the Sixers. They're terrible against the spread. And the line's a little fishy. So, for those reasons, I do like the Heat. Nets, Knicks. So, this one, the home team favorite has won every game. And they've covered. So, Nets did. Then the Nets did again. Then the Knicks did. And I think this time everyone's expecting the same. And I think it's going to be flipped. So, I went with the Nets. I think they're really trying to get behind Bridges. He's reminding me of Kawhi Leonard, the way they're pushing him. I said this a couple times. There's a guy who was primarily a defender, role player. Now he's a two-way player who can put up 25, 30 points, hit the 3. He can drive. He can dish. So, yeah, I think they're going to get behind Bridges. And I just like they're getting 7.5 points to boot. They might have some guys being rested with 7.5 being laid. But even still, I think that since the hometown favorite has won every one, it just stands to the reason that the underdog covers. They kind of usually don't keep up the exact same pattern. They usually switch it up. So, yeah, I'm going to go Nets cover. Here I like the Rockets to cover because we're coming off of a fresh, in a lot of people's minds, a fresh ass kicking, where the Grizzlies, they beat the Lakers pretty good, and the Nuggets just pelted the Rockets. So people having that fresh in their mind, I think there's a good chance they're going to be on the Grizzlies, so I like the Rockets there. Magic, Bucks, I do like the Magic to cover. We're working with points, and like I said, I do think that they're going to flirt with them being a 10 team, in the top 10. How do you do that? You have them beat the Bucks. I'm not saying they're going to, but it's not the most appealing line. You're having the Magic play the Bucks here, and you can see it's only 8.5 points. So not a lot of people, I don't think a ton of people are going to be on the Magic money line. There's other games that look like they have better value. So I don't see it as one of those games where the Bucks have to win because it's not like there's going to be a ton of people on the Magic for the upset. If anything, there's going to be a ton of people on the Bucks in this game. So I do like the Magic to cover. And final 2, continuing my theme, I like the Thunder to cover the Lakers, and I like the Blazers to cover the Pels. For the reason being, I think the Thunder, I don't think the Lakers are getting in the playoffs. I've been saying it for a while. I know people think I'm crazy. In their place, and I've been saying this for a while, I think it's going to be the Thunder. So I think it's fitting the Thunder beat them tonight. Don't forget Pat Bev keeps saying his number one goal is to make sure the Lakers don't make the playoffs. He doesn't care if the Bulls do or don't. He just doesn't want LeBron making it. So Obviously, they're going to set that little narrative up. They're playing twice still, the Bulls and Lakers. So the Lakers are missing the playoffs, in my opinion, and it's probably going to be courtesy of Pat Bev. But they got the games like this, it makes much more sense for the Thunder to win, in my opinion. That's probably why they're a favorite. And same with the Blazers. You can't have these teams, these draws, fall out of playoff contention. They got to all be racing for that 9 and 10 spot, which you can see is exactly what they're doing in the West. Jazz, Hornets. You can argue the Kings are a little ahead of the pack, and I didn't mean Hornets. I meant Jazz and who's the other one? Wolves, Jazz, Timberwolves. We got now Dallas, Thunder, Lakers, Pels, Blazers are all tied with 2 games apart. My point is they're not doing that on accident. You got the Warriors there too. They want as many teams competing as possible to make it interesting, to make people watch. But realistically, I don't see the Lakers getting in. I think they're going to do it. They would have had a much better record by now. Obviously, they're selling the year, and they're doing it to get people at the end of the year thinking with the Russell trade and other things. They're gonna make the run and get in. I don't think so. I think next year maybe they get a play in, but this year I don't have them in. So for that reason and others, I have the Thunder, and I have the Blazers because I think both of those teams are more draws right now. The playoffs actually did better ratings last year without LeBron. So you can see most of these are leg ones. I did make the Bulls cover a leg 2. Again, for those, all we're doing is plugging that in for a leg 1 loss, okay? So right there, that goes there. Suns, as I told you at the beginning, that's the one I like the most. So that one I'm playing as a leg 3. Just because I honestly, they've been pushing this narrative for a while now. This, are the Suns going to be the best? Are they going to be dominant? And they really haven't done it yet. They just kind of came out and looked average, looked like themselves, nothing different. So I think they really want to show people that they are a team to be trifled with, not a team to be trifled with. And then here we got Blazers cover Pels. That's a 10 o'clock game. So I'll just plug that in for one of our 7 o'clocks that might lose. So say the Nets don't cover or the Heat don't cover, we'll just plug in the Blazers cover for leg 2. But yep, for now, this is all of our picks. If you've seen my last video, I went into hockey and college. I just wanted to have NBA out there too. And I think tonight's going to be a good night. A lot of narratives. So take care and happy earnings.